Alright, I've got it. I take a small group of soldiers down this route and blow up the west barracks. It will draw their attention and open up the main route.
How's that better than my idea?
We will live longer than a few seconds.
Oh, well, now you're just picking holes.
Give it up, boy. What I want to know is what my men need to do.
That's for the future king to decide.
Paige knows the city best. We'll follow her plan.
Fine. I only put mine forward to annoy her anyway.
I see you've really matured on your travels. If you'll look at the map, we can go through the details.
My ships will take you to the beach here.
We can expect heavy mortar fire, but most of Logan's soldiers will be busy dealing with Paige and her men.
I want to be in the thick of the smoke, and the fire, and the glory. If Paige takes the west route, it's only fair I take the east.
Which leaves the center to us. Less chance of getting lost.
Then we're agreed.
Are you sure you're up to this, Walter?
Oh, don't worry about me. I may feel old and tired, but the day hasn't come yet when I can't charge into a good old-fashioned fight. Let the battle for Albion begin.
Our people are getting torn to shreds out there. They need our help.
We need to take care of that mortar.
We've already lost one ship. Caelan's keeping it. Come on. How dare you shoot at the King's men!
We'll follow every step of the way. Ready? Let's go!
You're very tall, it's true. But that just means you've got further to fall.
Watch it there. You do know they're trying to kill you, right? How the hell do you do that stuff? This is the moment you've been waiting for, isn't it? Well, waiting's over. We're taking fire! Watch out! Well, can't say they don't deserve it, eh? Get them down! They deserve to die for what they did to Swifty! We'll never get through those gates while the mortar's there! Oh, well done! That one was a right bugger. Glad you got him. Can you take that mortar out? It's really starting to annoy me.
I might look old, but I know how to fight. You've used one of those mortars before. How about you blow up this one?
You think you can win, do you? Well, we're the best. Logan's elite. That bullet had your name on it, didn't it? Resistance is hot! Taking fire!
The mortar's down!
The Auroran ship should be able to move in closer now. Come on, Caelan, do your stuff. Get in there!
Let's take the fight into the city! Ah, a bit of close combat. This is more like it. Recognize old Walter, you hot brother.
It's tired.
How you feeling, Walter?
Better if you stop asking me. Now let's go.
Down with one hit. How did you do that?
That's right. Aim where it hurts. Don't show them any mercy. He should have surrendered. He's not getting back up, that's for sure.
Wait. I'm sorry.
More guards! No. You'll have to do better than that. Keep your guard up.
Excellent attack. Now finish him off.
They make good targets, don't they? You all right there?
Well struck. Excellent knock. work, soldier! Hit him again!
No. Stop.
Ah,
I'm sorry.
Lockings for cowards!
That one's dead, all right.
Fine shot! Watch it, the dog's a killer!
That showed him. That was a satisfying shot. Might have blocked them.
Is this not the grandest time you've ever had?
Sabine, you almost blew us up.
You saw a glorious beacon of freedom burning in the night for all the... What is it, Boulder? Oh, bloody hell. Move! Move!
It'll take more than a grenade to finish off that old sod.
Meanwhile, let's do what he says and get moving, shall we? I've been trained by the best. You haven't got it.
How dare you shoot him!
You pay for that. See, I can still aim straight. We have a moment's rest.
Enemy wounded!
You wouldn't want to get bored, would you?
Come on!
Bet you've been wanting to do that for a long time.
Harry, you fool!
Resistance is hot! Taking fire!
Textbook block, well done! Good hit! That's damn the rebel is firing at us! Good luck, soldier. You can't defend forever. Got him! Good work, soldier.
Shut up.
Good work, soldier.
Good shooting. Don't give these buggers a satisfaction.
Ah! Now that is one of my best shots in a long time.
Hey, that girl knows how to handle herself. Come on, we're not far from the castle now. We'll meet up with her there.
It's only a flesh wound.
I've been shooting since I was 5, and it never gets tired.
soldier! Eat steel!
Fight through the pain! Fine defense work, soldier.
I'm the best there is. You'll never get through.
Come on, Paige, where are you? Paige!
Oh, about bloody time! I can...
My men are taking care of the East Barracks, but I couldn't leave you out here alone.
That deserves a round of applause.
Great parry. We're elite troops, you can't...
Elite soldiers, my ass.
Have that! Stay alert. There'll be more coming. We have to find a way past this gate.
Always with the damn gates!
What we need are explosives, but I used mine up on the way here.
If only we knew some sort of tiny, crazy old man who enjoyed blowing things up.
Ha ha! Did you see that boulder that the whole city bowed to our thunder?
Hang on. How did you get to the other side in the first place?
Dwellers have their ways, my boy. Is there anyone left to kill?
There will be soon. More troops are on the way. Kalian's fleet got a fair few, but not all.
We'll hold them off.
Come on, Boulder, there's more fighting to be done.
Good luck in there. Hope the crown fits.
Let's finish this for good, while I can still stand up on my own.
You're that psycho killer, ain't ya? Don't try any of that murdering business on...
Shall we knock? No. Let's surprise him.
So, this is how it ends. The old fool and the child who ran away. You finally become the man I always wanted you to be.
He's a lot more than that, and now he's ready to take your place.
Perhaps the time has come for someone else to lead Albion.
You were never a leader. Just another tyrant.
Did it ever occur to you that I may have had good reason to be?
We're not interested in your reasons.
Cower behind ignorance if you will, but my brother deserves to know the truth.
Save it for the trial, Logan. You can beg for your life then. There he is. The King of Albion. You've made it. Just like I always knew you would. It doesn't get any easier, though. You have a country to run now. And with Jasper busy in the sanctuary, you'll need a new personal aide. Someone who can keep you organized. Let me introduce you to...
Hobson. Hobson's the name, Your Majesty. May I say what an extraordinary honor it is to serve you? I have a vast wealth of experience, I assure you, though I have yet to experience vast wealth. That, Your Majesty, is an example of the sense of humor which will no doubt make our time together such a delight.
No doubt. Well, I'll leave you two to get better acquainted. I should begin preparations for the trial.
The trial, of course. The very first item on today's agenda. Among my other qualities, I am well versed in toadying, public relations, and time management. And I heartily believe the key to being a successful king is following a well-scheduled royal agenda. If you will permit me, here are today's appointments. I'm sure you will do a marvelous job presiding over your brother's trial, which, as I said, will be your very first royal duty. Your subjects await in the throne room for what is sure to be an historic occasion, Your Majesty.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion. Logan, former King of Albion, you stand accused today of crimes against the kingdom and its people. Those who brought you to justice will now speak.
There's not a soul alive in the kingdom who hasn't suffered for his glory, and plenty who've died for it. I says, let him have some death of his own.
Look, I'm not one for lopping people's heads off, but we saw Major Swift executed like it was a bloody circus act. He deserves nothing less as far as I'm concerned.
But aren't we better than that? Isn't that why we fought to be here now? I've seen what Logan has done to this city. People starving to death, children forced to work. But killing him now won't solve anything.
It is not my place to decide his fate, but his betrayal condemned many of my people to death. He promised us salvation, and then left us to face the darkness alone.
I had good reason to break that promise, and I had good reason for the crimes you claim I committed. The day I returned to Albion, I received a visit from a blind seer, Teresa, our father's guide. She showed me the future of this kingdom. The darkness in Aurora is coming here, bringing death, destruction, the end of our way of life. The sacrifices I had to make, I did them to protect Albion. If a few had to suffer, it was to build an army. If a few had to die, it was to save a country. I have spent years preparing for this attack. Let me stand by your side now, and all my soldiers will be yours to command. Let us face the coming darkness, together.
If this is true, if it's really coming here, we are all in grave danger.
You have the power over life and death, brother. Now choose.
Your brother's fate.
This is not the time for revenge. We need your help, Logan.
The king has made his decision. Logan's life will be spared.
I know you will never forgive me for the things I've done. You told me so once, remember?
Of course I do.
But what matters now is that we defend our land. The castle is yours, and so is the throne. I'm glad to be rid of them.
You have fulfilled the first part of your destiny. You were little more than a child when you left the castle. You have become a hero, a leader, and now, finally, a monarch. But your journey is not yet done. Now you are king. You can know the truth. Albion will soon be attacked. And the threat could not be greater. Darkness is coming to our land. It cannot be reasoned with, it cannot be halted. The ruler of Albion is all that stands between the world we inhabit and that darkness. That is why you had to take your brother's place. The course of history demands it. If you do not succeed, everything we know will come to an end.
Why didn't you tell me all this at the start? It was never about Logan, was it?
I told you what you needed to know, and I never spoke anything but the truth. With Logan on the throne, Albion would have been doomed. This much I know. Only with a hero wearing the crown do we stand a chance of survival.
And how do I stop it?
You won't. Its arrival is inevitable. 1 year from now, the darkness will fall upon Albion. All you can do is prepare, and hope to save as many of your people as you can. How you do so is up to you. 2 paths lie ahead. You may keep the promises you have made and be known as a benevolent ruler. But understand that doing so will leave little to spend on the kingdom's protection and may lead you to disaster. It is not easy to be popular and keep the treasury full, unless you are willing to sacrifice your personal wealth. But you may also choose to break those promises, to harm your people in order to save them. You will not lack the means to build the army you need, but you will be hated. This path will cast you in the role of a tyrant, as it did your brother. You have 1 year to do what Logan could not. Be the ruler that readies Albion for the greatest threat it has ever faced, and be the hero that can stand against it.
Your Majesty, I'm not sure what to say after receiving such news. The darkness that is coming. People won't understand what it means. Nobody could, without living through it first. We need to prepare. If we can't stop the attack from happening, we have to be ready when it comes. Having Logan's troops on our side is a good start, but you will need to raise a fortune to pay for the army we'll need. Hobson will show you the treasury, and I'm sure he can explain just how to fill it.
Indeed I can.
Then I will leave you to it. Ben and I will begin recruiting and training soldiers at once.
If you will follow me, Your Majesty. Oh, how I have looked forward to this moment. This is it. Albion's royal treasury, the store of the kingdom's total wealth. It's, well, not as replete as one would like, but just imagine this room shimmering with hills, valleys, and plateaus of gold, a topography of riches going all the way up to the ceiling. It will require nothing less to build this army everyone is talking about. Which brings us to the second item on today's agenda, and one I'm personally very excited about. Setting the tax rate for the coming year. As you probably know, your brother was taxing the people rather heavily, and some say that this has led to poverty, starvation, and other societal ills. You have 3 clear choices, Your Majesty. 1, lower the tax rate, which one could argue would help the poor and the hungry, but would also leave the treasury in a miserable state. 2, maintain Logan's policies. Not a popular move with the people, but moderately popular with the treasury. And 3, and don't let my enthusiasm influence you in any way, raise the taxes even further. True, many will suffer in the short term, but we will be able to protect the kingdom and run our fingertips over vast amounts of gold in this very room. Very well, Your Majesty. Ah, an arousing sight, is it not? Breathe in that gilded air. Our tax collectors have not wasted any time carrying out your wishes. Certainly some people will starve to death, but it's a small price to pay for the security of our land. If you carry on being this decisive, the treasury will soon be overflowing. Perhaps you could even take a little of the money for yourself. Wink, wink. However you decide to proceed, you should acquaint yourself with the Royal Ledger. It is a logbook that allows the reigning monarch to make deposits and withdrawals from the treasury. A most useful financial tool. But my, look at the time. You really ought to attend to the next item on today's agenda. Riva has a most intriguing proposal for you in Bowerstone Industrial. Now, I know you have had your differences, but it is time to put those behind you and work together. Nobody can raise money like Riva can, I assure you. I have seen to it that your appearance among the populace is well publicized, so expect a crowd.
Don't tempt me, Weaver.
Oh, happy day! His Majesty, the King of Albion, graces us with his radiant presence. I knew last time we met that you would emerge victorious from such public sibling rivalry. And now, here I am, to assist you in filling your coffers till they are fit to burst. What better way to begin your reign than by reinstating one of my most successful policies? There is no greater waste than the idleness of our city's youth, but my employment scheme guarantees children of all ages will have something to occupy them, whilst ensuring our factories are properly manned.
It's just monstrous. Don't listen to him. You promised you would end child labor. Remember that promise now.
And what would you have us do with the snotty little indigents?
The only way Bowerstone is going to climb out of the gutter is through education. Nothing is more important to our future than that. Turn this factory into a school. Give the children of this city the chance they never had.
A school? Well, that's an original thought. Well, if you'd like to be known as a pauper monarch, then by...
The factory will become a school.
Thank you. We can really start changing people's lives now. This will be an Albion worth fighting for.
I shall begin the necessary modifications at once. Welcome to Riva Industries Learning Center, Bowerstone Industrial's first ever school. You can now feel secure in the knowledge that your children can become the well-educated automatons you always wanted them to be.
The king! Bet you won't find a better deal than here in my shop.
I cannot tell you what...
Awaiting your command, my lord.
Sir?
Greetings, sir.
You know, you're more handsome now than when we first met in the castle.
You don't care who you hurt or kill, do you?
Will you marry me?
Oh, darling, of course I will. And just think, one day our children will ask, Mum, how did Daddy propose to you? And I'll say, right in the centre of Bowerstone Industrial. It was terribly romantic.
Oh!
There's the love of my life. I bet you say
I
that
have
to all the
something
girls.
I want to ask.
But I hope not.
Will you marry me?
Oh, darling, of course I will. And just think, one day our children will ask, Mum, how did Daddy propose to you? And I'll say, right in the centre of Bowerstone Industrial. It was terribly romantic.
I'm so happy.
I'm afraid you're...
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Hello, superhero.
Everything all right, Your Majesty?
For king and country.
Greetings, my lord.
How are you, Your Majesty?
Sir?
Greetings, sir.
My king?
My lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king.
Your Majesty.
Today, you will decide what is to be done with the Bowerstone Old Quarter, site of the Battle for Albion. Paige will offer her proposal. Reva shall stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, our victory came at a great cost to the city. You vowed to fight poverty, but our actions have made the problem worse. You must act now. I ask that the old quarter be rebuilt, and its former residents rehomed. You wouldn't just be helping those in great need. You'd be sending a message to your people. They're scared, Your Majesty. Let them know they can count on you.
We destroyed the old quarter. It's only right we rebuild it.
The king has reached his decision. The old quarter shall be rebuilt, and its former residents will have their homes returned.
Thank you, Your Majesty. This will be a very popular move.
I suppose there may be something to be gained by rebuilding part of the city. It shows our sense of industry has not yet been dampened. Very well, Your Majesty. Despite the current climate of fear and great national need, Reva Industries has once again struck a blow for the honest man on the street. The sad sight of the decayed and war-torn old quarter is no more. We are proud to present the new old quarter.
It breaks one's heart to see the treasury so empty. If we don't do something about it, we will all die. And I have some very definitive retirement plans. As a matter of fact, our very first order of business might have a bearing on our financial situation. The time has come to decide the annual town guard budget. As you can imagine, the people like to complain about crime and the lack of safety on it. Very wise, Your Majesty. Better to have a city full of criminals than a city full of very dead people. Let us now turn our attention to the rest of today's business. Here is the royal schedule I have prepared. As you can see, you have a busy day in the court, but a tremendously enjoyable one. Decoration is a passion of mine, and I simply cannot wait to see your choice. The interior designers await you in the throne room.
The king!
At your service, my king.
The murderer I was telling you about.
Oh my!
It's the...
It's the great ruler.
Hello. Anything interesting going on in the world?
I wake up every day feeling...
You are just so impressive.
I love you. Marry me.
Oh, darling, of course I will. And just think, one day our children will ask, Mum, how did Daddy propose to you? And I'll say, right in the centre of Bowerstone Industrial. It was terribly romantic.
I'm so happy.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Oh, darling, I'm so happy. We made the right decision. I've never been... I could do this forever. You're doing all the right things, that's for sure.
At your service, my king. Ready to serve your
Yay!
Yippee!
Yay!
At your orders. How are you, Your Majesty?
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth, my love.
Majesty. At your command.
Whoa!
Oh,
Everything all right, Your Majesty?
You were just...
Attention!
What's the hurry?
Yeah, nice.
Nothing feels better than having your hand in mine.
Good one.
You have just read my mind. Remember when we used to sneak up to your room in the castle? Oh, yes. My love, yes.
Oh!
I never want it to end. Remember when we used to sneak up to your room in the castle? Fancy reliving those memories. You won't believe this, but I'm pregnant. I've never been so happy. Oh, who's a happy girl? Who is? This is for you. I don't need to be rich to be happy. After spending all that time working in a shelter, I know how to value what we have. I never really believed in fate. But I always...
Nothing to report, Your Majesty.
Attention!
All stand to attention for the King of Albion! Today you decide on the decor of the castle. Two of Albion's greatest interior designers have come to present their suggestions.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I am Herman Worthy, and I have a design in mind that will blow your little royal socks off. Imagine a celestial scheme capable of lifting the shadows that haunt these halls. A fabulous balance of serene hues that announce to the world, I am a strong, virtuous leader. Hear me roar. But also, look how pretty my home is.
I wish this to be an enlightened castle.
Oh, fabulous, Your Majesty, fabulous! Your castle will be a vision of purity.
And what's more, fashion and good taste must choke down their nausea.
Majesty?
Today you decide on the future of Aurora, Your Majesty. Kaelin will speak for her people. Riva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
I am here to seek the protection you promised. It is too long since my people felt safe, or knew of life without suffering. We were honored to join your fight to claim Albion. Now it is time we joined your kingdom. Do what your brother failed to do. Help us to rebuild Aurora and protect it as you would your own land.
There is nothing so noble as embracing other cultures, and I, for one, could not be happier to count Aurora as part of Albion. But surely they must work for that privilege, and I happen to know just how to put them to good service. There is an abandoned mine in the Auroran desert that holds enough materials to benefit the whole kingdom. Let us employ Kaelin and her people to gather what resources there may be. That can be their payment.
You are talking about forced labor.
I will keep my promise. Aurora will become part of Albion, and its people will be our equals in every way.
The king has spoken. Aurora shall be rebuilt as part of Albion, and equal to every other part of the kingdom.
Thank you, Majesty. You have proven to be a man of honor. Aurora is proud to stand at your side.
Welcome to the new and improved Aurora, an oasis of friendship, camaraderie, and many other lovely things. Visit the city that Riva Industries rebuilt from sand, stone, and corpses. Enjoy the sunshine, the odd local customs, and the heavy soldier presence. Aurora, a light blooming in the darkness.
A most brave decision in court today, Your Majesty. Aurora might have proven to be a rather profitable resource, but I'm sure we can find other means of filling the treasury. As a matter of fact, we could already have stumbled upon such an opportunity. Aurora may not turn out to be a waste after all. It seems that a group of Albion explorers visiting Aurora have discovered a rare diamond in the desert. They heard the legend of this extraordinary gem from the locals, and understandably set out to find it, without a moment's regard for their own lives. Which may go some way to explaining why only one of the explorers returned in one piece. He came back empty-handed, speaking of the hideous desert beings protecting the treasure. Think of the glory, Your Majesty, the adventure, the romance, the large sums of money we stand to make. The diamond is located in one of the caves beneath the Auroran wasteland, reportedly the site of an ancient, abandoned temple. You need only to take it.
The arrogant will not find respect.
At your command.
Ready to serve, Your Majesty. Sir.
Attention!
Ah, it's the great ruler.
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account? A truly selfless act. I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, Your Majesty. Bravo. The Treasury is looking rather sickly, wouldn't you agree? We must always be wary of unnecessary expenditures and watch out for possible avenues of profit. With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamoring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury, I'm so happy you decided to follow my suggestion. There will be less mouths to feed and more gold to stockpile. A win-win situation, if one ignores the inevitable loss of popularity. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumours that Reaver's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
You're quite nice, you know that? That is a... Darling, that's great.
All stand for the king.
Sovereign of all.
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Reaver will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps...
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone Shelter shall be refurbished at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You've done the right thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own. Are you a beggar, too lazy to own your own clothes? Or perhaps an orphan, aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Reaver Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue: the disposal of the city's waste. Reaver will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone is beginning to have a serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Reaver Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There can be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all.
Morningwood will be granted the honour of receiving the city's sewage.
The king has spoken. The waste from the city of Bowerstone shall be channeled into Morningwood.
I shall begin the flushing immediately, Your Majesty.
Oh, this is heavy. This is totally heavy. You've turned Granny Nature into your toilet bowl. But she'll fight back. You'll see. One day, in like a 1,000 years, she'll fight right back, man.
There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Reaver Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Morningwood Sewer Reservoir, eliminating Bowerstone's most pungent pollution. Emptying one's bowels has never been safer, or such a pleasure.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
The king! Wow!
Yay!
The king! Hooray!
Sir?
Woohoo! Hey there, Your Majesty.
It's not every day a king walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
Yeah!
You need to spend or I'll be out of business.
It's the great
I mean,
ruler.
happy shopping.
Looking for your next...
Yay!
Watcher, Your Majesty.
Wahey!
Greetings, sir.
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The king, no less. Have at him, fellas.
Never killed it. Stop him from shooting that thing! Get in there! Another belt in the chops and you'll... Let's see you bleed.
It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent their hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operation.
My lord.
Your Majesty?
Let me buy your unwanted items. There, the price paid.
Nothing to report, Your Majesty.
Oh my.
Long live the king!
Hello,
Greetings,
sir.
Your Majesty.
Greetings, sir.
Ah, Your Majesty. Hello.
It's very late and time for bed.
You again. It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout, if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Kill him! Fast!
Come on then!
That's the ticket, lad. That shot looks nasty! Slugged ya!
Oh, did that bullet go clean through it? Kill the damn dog! Ha! You can't deal with me, Northern bossing over fencing. Oi! You keep shooting that thing. Someone... Glad that was you what got shot and not me. Yikes! Sure wish me vest were a bit more bulletproof. Watch out for the damn dog, it's a biter! Can't stop me, can ya? You're a hit. This guy's a right menace, that gun.
I can't live one more day in this cell.
Never killed a king before. Look. Hey! You're not supposed to shoot back! Stop it! What a back!
How do you like that? Watch it!
I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable. In addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
Come on then, I haven't got all day. How'd you like that? Not exactly going your way, is it?
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
Ah, that pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit. I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay in there and rot. But that's for the king to decide.
You royal miscreant! This grievous malefaction shall be rewarded with equally grievous retribution.
You have made great strides, Your Majesty. Witness the glory of your treasury. Don't you just want to go swimming in all that gold? But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. The residents of Millfields will be most pleased. They will find it money well spent, and I find it money well received. Let us move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead. Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.